Hey guys, so I just want to do a full head-to-head here looking at the performance and camera on the LG V20 and the Xperia XZ. These are very high-end phones from their respective manufacturers, and I wanted to see here how LG's latest phone did compare, because the XZ is a very strong proposition, probably the best Sony I've come across when it comes to providing a great experience. So we're going to have a look here how they do compare, and we're going to be looking at the software, the build quality, etc., and the camera performance, which I think was quite close last year with the V10 and the Z5. The V10 probably a little bit better when it came to the low light, but the Z5 probably a little bit better when it came to the daylight shots. Very debatable. So you can see we have removed the app drawer on the V20. Some people saying that you get the best performance when it's in this mode. Personally, I can't stand it when it's like this. I think the app drawer is necessary, and I do enjoy the Sony UI for that. But we will try and use it here without the app drawer. So let's just have a look at some of the apps then. Opening speed test to see if there's any differences. Both are running Snapdragon 820. And it seems that the V20 seems to be opening up a little bit faster here on most of them. So that was a little bit of a pop-up there. And Play Store, very similar for that. So let's open up a game here. So I wouldn't expect there to be much difference in terms of the performance. I think the V20 does have a little bit more RAM, which may help with the gaming. As you can see, it did open the game a little bit faster there. And we're going to have a look at another one. So that was quite similar. And another one. You see the XZ this time coming back. So maybe on a per game basis, oh no, the V20 again did actually just pip it. So very nice performance here from the V20, which I was expecting the heavy skin to bog it down a little bit, but you can definitely see here they've done some nice work with the Nugget optimization, because this is running Android Nugget obviously, whereas we're getting Marshmallow on the Sony. So I'm just getting over the flu, so do bear with me, but basically we can see here the actual web browsing performance, see if there's any differences. So let's just open up a page. Go. And both of them seem to open up pretty quick here, but the Sony seems to be ahead when it comes to loading the images. Whoops. You see, that wasn't the same time, I know. We'll make up for it. So let's just go back one. I think the Sony has a slightly better screen if I'm looking at it from this angle. It just looks a little bit more like nicer at the viewing angle that I'm at. It's hard to explain really. So quite similar when it comes to these links. Have a look at another website. And the XC, no, that was more the V20. So you know, I think that generally you can see here the actual performance isn't too far off when you come into the, you know, web browsing. They're both relying on Chrome at the end of the day. That was the XC that time. Maybe the XC is a little bit better because it's smaller. I do notice the screen is better, you know, just making a notice on that. It just looks better in terms of viewing angles, the contrast, etc. I think the kind of curved glass gives it a nice air of class as well. I don't think you get that with the V20. So maybe the XC with that, but you know, quite variable. Multitasking, let's have a look at this. And I gotta say, I've been quite disappointed with the multitasking on many of these flagships. You can see the XC is reloading a few of them already. I mean, it's not like I've opened 100 apps. The V20 seems to be holding them in memory very easily, which is good. And a little bit of delay when it comes to going into the camera, typical Sony. So I think you could definitely have done with you know, an extra gig of RAM with the XC, whereas the LG handles it in its stride pretty much. But it will hold some of them in memory, as you can see, quite inconsistently, if you ask me. So in terms of the multitasking, I think the V20 is definitely the choice to go for here. But in terms of the camera, that is another thing here that we can have a look at. So we have been out and about, you know, testing them, and we wanted to see the performance in, you know, low light, really low light actually. And you can see here, generally I think that the V20 did quite well. It wasn't quite as good as I was expecting, you know, compared to how the V10 was compared to the Z5. I think the XC has caught up pretty much. It even looked a little bit brighter on the XC on some of the shots. So we did do some others as well. And you know, generally I think that the XC did quite well. I think in terms of daylight shots, the XC had more high contrast images, like the colours looked much richer on the XC. You can particularly tell with the can shot, whereas they looked a little bit more washed out on the LG. So maybe they're just going for a more realistic look, we don't really know, but I think I preferred the XC in terms of the day shots, definitely, you know, conclusively. But then again, it's up to you, you know, which one do you prefer. We did do a 4K comparison as well, which I think I enjoy the widescreen mode that you can do, both with the pictures and the video on the LG, but it does feel a little bit jerky when it goes into the different modes. So, I think the XZ has held its own quite well here against the V20. I think that if you're looking for your manual controls, the V20 is still second to none, really. It's just incredible the amount of stuff you can do. But not everyone wants that, not everyone does actually need that. You do get some basic manual controls, obviously, on the Sony, but they do pale in comparison to what you can do with the V20 phone. So overall, I think I'm preferring the XZ when it comes to camera.